Hello. I would like to reach out to you today to gather feedback on a concept that has emerged from work being done in the Future of Home Inclusive Housing Solutions Lab, in which two teams are taking a human-centered approach to answering the question: what might an affordable, accessible housing and support model that also supports the social inclusion and belonging of people with developmental disabilities look like? We are going to present a prototype. Prototypes are a generation of an idea, which allow for feedback and input from the community. A prototype is not a pilot. It is a way to test and gather feedback throughout the process of creating an appropriate solution. The prototype you are about to see is one team's idea for a housing development that is affordable, accessible, and supports the social inclusion of people with developmental disabilities. The concept emerged from months of research, collaboration, and conversations with people with developmental disabilities, their natural supports, and other key stakeholders. The concept incorporates aspects of both the physical building space and the support model that would exist to support people with developmental disabilities. The Commons is an urban, mixed-use co-housing development focused on fostering the social inclusion of people living with developmental disabilities. It brings people living with developmental disabilities and people living without developmental disabilities together, living in intentional communities as neighbors and allies. It is an inclusive, affordable, accessible, and supportive place to live. Our team landed on this particular type of housing because it offers a complex large enough to sustain a number of key community building features, including large shared space and retail space, as well as a community coordinator role. The Commons comprises 99 units in a variety of private unit designs to accommodate a diversity of community members, from singles to couples, roommates, and families. Shared common spaces promote neighborly interactions and engagement and include a community garden, courtyard and playground, meeting room, exercise room, ball court, and a common house with kitchen, dining room, living area, games room, and terrace. Revenue-generating retail spaces act as a magnetic space for residents and the greater neighborhood, generating income for the community, and provide potential employment opportunities for those living with developmental disabilities. An occupant ratio of 20% people with disabilities living on AISH and 80% other community members will be enforced. The idea being that the 80% subsidizes the rent of the 20%, making it affordable for those living on AISH. With these ratios, the model would support between 18 and 20 people with developmental disabilities. On-site support staff for the people with developmental disabilities will be made possible through the pooling of PDD funds, and an on-site community coordinator will work with the community members to help facilitate a greater sense of community through events, activities, and programming. So what might living at the Commons look like? Imagine bumping into your neighbor at the laundromat, sitting down and chatting with that family that lives down the hall on the community meal night, volunteering in the community garden, or borrowing flour from your next door neighbor once you've started that favorite recipe. So who benefits? Well, there are many that could benefit from living at the Commons. For residents living with developmental disabilities, the pooled on-site support will allow for more affordable and independent living, decreased social isolation, and more opportunities to contribute to the community, with a better sense of feeling at home. For family members and/or allies of these residents, it offers them peace of mind knowing that their friends and loved ones are supported and understood by their community. The benefits for those residents that do not live with developmental disabilities are really no different than the benefits for those who are. Decreased loneliness, greater community support, and a greater sense of purpose or belonging. Some key resources required to bring this prototype to life include land and a developer to build and possibly operate the building, policies for commercial tenancy agreements and contracts for the support model, funding for the community coordinator position, community buy-in, commercial wellness and not-for-profit tenants, and a partnership with a local disability service provider to provide and oversee the 3 full-time supports that will aid community members with everyday tasks. An on-site office will also be required for the support workers to work out of. This prototype is the first physical manifestation of our concept for an affordable and accessible housing and support model that supports the social inclusion and belonging of people with developmental disabilities. Our hope is that you can provide your insight and feedback so that we can better understand what we might need to add, modify, omit, and reconsider. We look forward to hearing your thoughts, questions, concerns, and ideas. Thank you.